Welcome, everybody, to this episode of the Ninth Grade Experience podcast. I'm your host, Chris Dutchko. The goal of the podcast is to give you the story of ninth grade students here at Emmaus High School and beyond through the people who live it daily, the students and the staff. We will attempt to touch on the real issues and stories that ninth grade students face in order to prepare them to know that ninth grade counts. And today's episode is highlighting one of my favorite events of the Emmaus High School calendar, and probably the thing that I'm the most proud of our school and the way that it's come together over these past 12 years, and that is the Shave for the Brave event, which is a fundraiser for to help combat pediatric cancer through the St. Baldrick's Foundation. And we'll talk a little bit more about that, but our episode today is with one of the honored kids who is a current ninth grader here at Emmaus High School. His name is Sam Mackaravitz, and he has been 2 years cancer-free as of the recording of this podcast. He has been dealing with acute lymphoblastic leukemia, and he tells this story about kind of dealing with that and what it's like to be a ninth grade student here at the high school and getting himself involved in all different stuff and what the EHS Shave for the Brave event will mean to him. So we're really looking forward to sharing his story with all of you today. So we'll definitely hear from him. At the end of the episode, we'll also have the commercial that we've been running on some of the episodes as well, talking about my involvement with the EHS Shave for the Brave, which has gone back all the way to 2010. So it is definitely a charity that we love to talk about here and an event that really highlights the great things about Emmaus High School. So we're looking forward to that this Friday, March 11th at 5 o'clock. That's down at the football stadium. It's gotten so big they had to move it out of the gym and onto the football field. So we're hoping for nice weather to be able to celebrate this event that really brings the best out of the Emmaus High School community. So we're really excited that Sam was willing to share his story with us and that we can feature it here on the podcast because we love hearing student voices and we love getting that stuff out there. You also may have noticed at the beginning of the episode that we have a little bit of new music. Maybe you've never realized about our music before, but the music is actually coming courtesy of another freshman. His name's Eli Heckman, and he's composed a couple things for us, and we're going to try to incorporate them into the podcast more as some intro and outro music. But if you are a student producer of music and you would like to have your stuff featured on the podcast, just reach out to me, Mr. Stuchko, and we'd love to try to feature it either as the beginning or the end or in the middle at some point. So it's really great to be able to feature more creativity from the students on the podcast as well too. So we're definitely highlighting the EHS Shave for the Brave, but it is still March, so it's Career Readiness Month. You can see the green t-shirt if you are watching on YouTube. So we're wearing that every day in the month of March here for the ninth grade experience to be able to bring awareness to career readiness. We had an episode with Mrs. Grimm right before this one as well too, so you can get on there and see how you sign up for all the different events and how to be a part and get yourself involved in the Career Readiness Month here in the month of March. So again, if you are looking for any of our previous episodes like the Career Readiness Month or any of our other features with students or looking back on some different stuff that we have talked about, you can go to ninthgradeexperience.com. That is kind of our hub. It has our video and our audio there as well too. You can go to our YouTube page. So if you just go in this YouTube search bar and type in Ninth Grade Experience and subscribe, we're almost to 100 subscribers, which is awesome. And we're getting close to some big numbers that hopefully we'll be able to share in the next podcast. Some really cool numbers that, as we're kind of coming up at the end of the fourth season of this, that we're really excited to share. So definitely subscribe. And then if you're listening to this on audio, please give us, the subscribe there or the follow as well too, whether it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, any of those spots. But if you just go to the website, you can look at all the different players on there and follow there as well too. So we're really looking forward, and we thank Sam for sharing his story on this episode. And hopefully it encourages you to come out to Shave for the Brave or to donate. We're going to have links in our show notes on how to donate to Sam or to myself or to the school in general. But again, they have reached the milestone they're looking for already. As of the recording of the podcast, they've reached over $112,000, definitely the biggest amount in the history of the EHS Shave for the Brave. So who knows what it'll reach to by Friday, March 11th. So again, thanks for everybody listening. Thanks for Sam for sharing his story. We're really excited to bring it to you today. And thanks a lot and enjoy the show. I'm here with a special guest today, back to talking to some students. and we are getting ready for the EHS Shave for the Brave event, one of my personal favorite events. And if you've been following along with the podcast, you've seen the recording that I did encouraging people to donate and to get involved. And today we have one of the students in our school that is actually one of the Shave for the Brave honored kids, who is 2 years, as of today of recording, 2 years cancer free. So I'm excited to be able to help bring the story of Sam Mackaravitz to you today. So Sam, thanks a lot for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right. So Sam has an interesting story to tell here. And again, bringing some more relatability to what's happening at the school on Friday and those kinds of things. So Sam, like all first-time guests, and you are a ninth grader, so it's great to know and hear about your ninth grade experience. So Sam, can you tell us a little bit about what your ninth grade experience has been like this year at Emmaus High School?
It's definitely interesting. It's different, way different from middle school, obviously, but I like school, and this is definitely one of the years I enjoy, and it's fun getting to figure out all the activities and all the events and clubs that I can be part of.
Have you been, before this year, did you come back to school last year? Were you remote for all of last year? So is this like your first time back in the building since the previous school year?
No, I went 5 days a week last year.
Okay, so you were coming back to school probably in about like that November, December time.
Yeah.
So you were back in school for the full time then. So what has this year been like for you, just like transitioning to the high school? Or are you excited to come to the high school? Were you nervous to come up to the high school?
I was excited and I was nervous at the same time. It was nervous because it's much bigger. I feel high school is much bigger than middle school, and I knew I probably wouldn't, but I felt like I was going to get lost constantly. But surprisingly, I got around pretty well. I had to ask for a bit of directions, but for the most part, I was excited to come. And I am part of the Jasper program, which is a little group of the school that does more hands-on and try to helps more the community. And that made high school even better so far.
So I know the Jasper program, they do a lot of like projects and all. I think, have you done the pizza project yet?
Yes, we did.
So talk to people a little bit about like some of those things. You've done the one with the pizza where it's like with switchback pizza, and then you've also done the program. Have you done the candle one too at this point?
Yeah.
So out of those, or have you had a favorite project that you've done so far in the Jasper program?
I think my favorite was probably definitely the candle project, because it was the most interesting, and it was interesting finding out the sustainability of waxes, but at the same time it was very fun learning how to make them, and I really enjoyed doing it. I liked my scent, I liked other people's scents, and that was good. The pizza project was a little bit more of the same thing. We get dough from the Switchback Pizza place, where we get the most sustainable toppings and try and make our own pizzas at home. And that was also fun.
So those are pretty cool, and we're hoping to have the person from the candle place on the podcast later in the month of March here to talk about her experience of being an Emmaus graduate and starting a business up. So it seems like you've gotten yourself involved in the school. Are you involved in any other clubs or organizations here at the school?
I do Emmaus marching band towards the beginning of the school year. And
what do you play?
I play the trumpet.
Okay. So trumpet in the marching band, and they don't do anything with the marching band like at this time of the year. So we're in the spring. So you have a little bit of time off now before I guess the summer starts ramping up and football and all that stuff. Any other activities? I know the band takes a lot of time. So I guess maybe now in the second half of the year, maybe you have a little bit more time to investigate some of those things. But anything caught your eye or anything you're joining?
Not many clubs. I'm just excited next year for some of the bigger academic programs like oceanography and the astronomy, and I can't wait to do that. So I'm looking forward to going to 10th grade then.
And it said in some of the stuff that I was looking at, it said you wanted to be a marine biologist. Is that still what you want to do?
Yes.
Pretty cool. So so we have an awesome oceanography program, and hopefully you get into that, and make sure you say hi to Mrs. Neller if she's still the teacher for oceanography there. So it seems like you've gotten yourself really involved in the school. Lots of good things going on. You're involved in some activities. You're involved in some cool classes and some cool programs. We're here. One of the reasons that obviously you have an awesome story, and then we want to share a little bit about your past and kind of talk about what's going on this Friday. So you are one of the honored kids for our Shave for the Brave event, which is happening Friday, March 11th, down at the football stadium. You're up there on the website for everything and just kind of talking a little bit about your past experience and what you've gone through. You're 2 years, like we said at the very beginning, 2 years cancer-free from acute lymphoblastic leukemia, or ALL for short. So can you don't have to go into all the details, but can you just tell people a little bit about what that is? Like, how did it affect you?
It affected my my overall, like, when I was in the hospital with it, I would miss out on little things like riding a bike or just doing some activities. But ALL is mostly a blood cell cancer, which affects a person's growth, and it affects their overall lifestyle, and it can make a person very weak at the beginning, and it's pretty hard to deal with it sometimes.
So I'm sure when you were first diagnosed with that, you were struggling to maybe get yourself involved with all these different activities. But it seems now, since 2 years removed, that you're able to kind of do all those different things. How long has it been that you've been able to participate in all these different activities and things that you really want to be involved with here at the school?
I'd probably maybe 7th to 7th grade, probably, because 7th grade was the first year I started marching band, and then I transitioned to high school marching band. So probably 7th grade was the point where I really started getting more active with school activities and school clubs and organizations.
And how old were you when you were first diagnosed with ALL?
4.
4. So, you're in high school now, about 14 years old. So it's about a 10-year journey with everything so far. How did you get associated or hooked in with the EHS Shave for the Brave? Was there some did somebody reach out to you, if you remember? Or I know you were kind of maybe involved with a little bit of like the athletic program here at the high school, but how did you initially become involved as an honored kid with the Shave for the Brave program?
Earlier in my treatment, when I was with the girls' soccer team, there was a girl named Katie Thomas, and she introduced me to the Shave for the Brave, and she went and she shaved her head, and that's what first got me starting for Shave for the Brave, and then ever since then I've kept doing it and going to it as long as I could.
So pretty cool. So it was a girl soccer player reached out and kind of brought you into the mix here, and got you involved there. So it's pretty cool. And there's lots of stories about how a lot of our different clubs and organizations are getting involved with this. As of today, when we're recording on Monday, March 7th, they've raised over $112,000, which is definitely the new record for the Shave for the Brave program, which is pretty awesome to see. With all the different stuff going on. So if you were going to talk to somebody that hasn't been to one of the events before, what would you tell them to come and look for or see, or what does being a part of that on that night mean to you?
To me, it just feels amazing that there's families who share their children's story, what they've went through, and then there will be chairs, and there'll be people. You'll see people getting shaved. All the hair that is shaved will be turned into money, which then will go to kids that need help with cancer. But not just that. They also have photo booths. They have raffles. They have concession stands, but overall it's just really fun to go to, and I just really think it's special that so many people just want to go just want to shave their head for a good cause, and I think that it's really nice of them, and I really like seeing that.
And it is, and I've said it many times on this show before and in different stuff when I talk to people. I've been here. This is my 13th year here at Emmaus High School, and the event that if somebody from outside of the high school asked me what is something that your school is known for, other than field hockey, because sometimes that's what they can pick out pretty easily, I always say the Shave for the Brave event, and it's grown. I've participated in every one since the start. So it's really awesome to see how it's grown and the impact it has on our local community, and just kind of seeing that and being a part of that. So what do you think, like, now that you're actually at the high school as a part of it, do you think it will mean something more to you at this point? Because I guess since the last time we've done it, the last time was 3 years ago, you were still in the middle of you're still battling today with your ALL, but at this point you're 2 years cancer free. But at the last time, I guess at that point you were still kind of going through treatments and other things. So what is the difference between like now and 3 years ago, and how does it feel to like be here and be a part of it at the high school?
I think it's just really cool, as well as if it was any other year. It's not. I don't feel it's any different. I feel like, honestly, this year I feel like to me it feels even more special, since I'm part of I'll be part of like a school that will not necessarily just look at someone and say that they just have short hair because they have cancer or something, or if that it's just special to me that this school, I know so many kids here that'll appreciate everything, and I think it just feels really more special to me than any other year.
So that's awesome, yeah, to be a part of it here. And then, like, I'm sure you have friends that are going to be in, like, or do you have a group of people that are shaving that you know, or like, are you participating in it at all?
I'm participating in, not going completely bald, but I'm going really, really short. And I know a few other people, but yeah, I don't really know a lot of people that are doing it that I know necessarily.
Like students or friends like that you know personally that are doing it, but you know like a couple of people and yourself. Yes. So that's cool too, that you're also willing to come back. You know, there's probably been lots of times where you didn't by choice have your own hair, but now you can kind of have that back, and you're choosing to shave and you're choosing to participate in that. Are you also raising money too?
I believe so.
Okay, so just if you're listening, both of us are participating, so I'm participating too, but I would rather you donate to Sam. So if you go onto the St. Baldrick's website, and there's a little search there as well, and we'll put a link to this all in the notes. If you just search his name, and if he's accepting donations, donate to Sam. Definitely get him up there to make sure that he's giving all that money to this cause as well. So last question, Sam, and I think you've done a great job talking about your own personal journey. You've talked about what it means to you to be here at the high school. What is something that you want people to understand about what you've had to go through? I think it's, a lot of times we go to the event on Shave for the Brave, and people kind of leave, it starts off and it's a very serious event too. I know you talked about all the different stuff that, goes around it too, but when you listen to the speakers and you listen to some of the stories, it's a lot, and obviously you've lived through it. But what is something that you would want their students or parents or any other community member to know? What is it, what do you want them to understand about your situation?
I want them to know that if you know somebody, or if you might have this and others don't know about it, don't stop fighting, and always keep fighting, and don't let anybody else judge you for what you go through. No matter if you have a full set of hair, if you have bald, don't be shy, and everybody else, if they make fun of you, just know that you are going through probably way worse in your life than what that they're going through most likely, and they're probably not. Yeah.
Yeah, I in the time that I've done this and after people have shaved, I haven't seen any of that, and I hope that we don't, and I don't think they will. And hopefully, after listening to you talk about that and how important that is, I hope that other people wouldn't do that either. So, Sam, I really appreciate you taking some time out here. Hopefully, our paths will cross on Friday. That there's going to be, I would say hundreds, but that's probably selling it short. There's probably going to be 1,000 people down at the stadium. This year they're doing it outside starting at 5 p.m. So they moved it back outside, back to its roots. It used to be outside, but is not, they couldn't fit any more people in the gym. So it's outgrown our gym, and we're outside. So hopefully it will be warm-ish or not raining-ish. But we'll make sure we get that done. So, Sam, thanks so much for taking some time out to give a little bit of background on your story and about being one of the Shave for the Brave honored kids. And your story hopefully will impress upon people the importance of donating and, making sure that we're doing everything we can to help end all these childhood cancers, and especially your ALL too. So thanks a lot, Sam, for joining us.
You.
Hey everyone, I'm Chris Stutchko. I am the host of the Ninth Grade Experience podcast, and I have been here at Emmaus High School for 13 years. And in my time here at the high school, the event that I think has been one of the greatest examples of how our community comes together is the Shave for the Brave event. I am one of the few people who has participated as a shavee in every one of the events. So it started in 2010, and then 2011, 2013, 15, 17, 19, and I will be again shaving my head here in 2022. I've risen to the rank of something called Knight of the Bald Table, so it's kind of interesting that I have been able to do that. So why did I originally become part of Shave for the Brave? It was because of a track team member in 2010 came into my classroom. I was a new teacher in 2010 here to the high school and said, "Do you want to participate in an event?" And I said, "Sure." And they gave me a neon green t-shirt, which I still have today. There were no Shave for the Brave shirts at that time, and it was really small, and nobody really knew what it was about. And we raised a little bit of money that year. And now here we are in 2022, and we're attempting to raise over $100,000 each year. This event has grown and grown and grown, and this year we're taking it back to its roots. It used to be outside at the track, so I'm excited to have it be outside again, so it'll be kind of fun to go back to where it was in the beginning. So hopefully all of you who are watching this, you can learn about Shave for the Brave, and you can look at all the posters and listen to all the stories that people are going to tell around the school here. But it is an event that makes me, East Penn, proud, Emmaus proud, to see everyone coming together in order to raise money. I would recommend going to the event, donating if you can, volunteering to have your head shaved. It is definitely one of those things when you participate in it, it'll leave a lasting impression on you. So participate in Shave for the Brave on March the 11th, and hopefully you come out and support everything that's going on. Show some pride in your school. It's something that we can all rally behind, helping to end childhood cancer. So thanks a lot for listening, and hopefully we will see you out there at the event on March 11th.